Zed with Stay the Night. It's 8:15 on your Wednesday morning. We got some great guests in the studio. We're going to be talking about stress management part 2. If you tuned in 2 weeks ago, we were talking about part 1, and we're going to go into the holiday side of it now. For our guests, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Major Johnson, Behavioral Health Officer for 1st Brigade Combat Team.
And good morning. I'm Chaplain Hovan, the 1 ABCT Chaplain.
Awesome. And we're talking about holiday stress this morning. I think that's stress management part 2.
That's right. As we're coming into the holidays, it's pretty evident that we're getting there. If you walk through the PX, you see all the Christmas stuff out. If you've seen all the stuff around the different posts we've had all the holiday tree lightings. We've got concerts going on. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And the holidays tend to be a very cheerful time, but there's sort of that dark underbelly, so to speak, that we don't often like to think about. But oftentimes the holidays produce added stress for people because, well, for being in Korea, there's being away from home, away from family, and there may be expectations that we've had to live up to in years past about being home with family and those sorts of things. But now that just may not be available to us. That option's gone. And there's that missing our families, that unmet expectation that just it's not possible. Sometimes it's a financial type issue. Sometimes it's not having the social kind of network that we normally have when it comes to the holiday season. And in Korea, sometimes that's tough, especially for soldiers who are just getting here and may not have plugged into a social network yet.
That's right. So picture, if you will, Staff Sergeant Willie Banks. He's a platoon sergeant in a medical platoon, and or he's a squad leader in a medical platoon. And you know he's coming along to the holiday season, and he and some of his soldiers are concerned about how their families are feeling since they not going to be able to make it home. So, as they're getting together, and of course, you have the workplace stress, got to continue with the mission. The mission has to continue. They sit down and begin to dialogue and kind of think through how they're going to make this holiday season work, despite the fact that they can't see their families, and maybe there's some financial stress and, workplace stress, social stressors. So we're going to talk about that as we go along.
Sounds good. Stay tuned for the next break. We got more music on the way. I got your currency and your weather update for you as well. You're tuned to AFN. Austin Mahone with Triple M. Yeah, you're listening to AFN. Casey the Eagle. We're talking about holiday stress part 2 here in the studio. We were just talking about what kind of sports you can play to get over stress, and if you ever feel any tension. But if there's anything you want to add to that.
So absolutely. So we were dialoguing before, talking about Staff Sergeant Willie Banks, the squad leader in a treatment platoon in a medical company. And so, he's sitting down with his squad members, and they're talking about planning on how they can, get through this holiday season, which of course is stressful for them because they know that they're not going to be able to go home and see their families. So, sitting down, talking, they're creating this plan for what they want to do for their family members. The wives are a little upset. They're not going to be able to see their spouses during this holiday season, and some of them are concerned because finances are a little tight, and so they're talking about what it is they're planning to do. So what are some things that they can do during this time?
I think there are a lot of things they could work with. I think one is hang out together, not just during the work times, because when you're working, there's a mission, and sometimes that adds some of the stress. Some of the stress we're talking about, especially occupational stress, because here in Area 1 we work a pretty high op tempo. So when we're just hanging out together during those duty hours, wearing our ACUs, it can sometimes be tough. But if we step back from that, put on some civilian clothes, maybe go out to eat, maybe attend some of the different holiday things that are going on during the holidays, whether it be some of the concerts or cantatas, the worship services, Christmas tree lightings, maybe even just, go shopping together, understanding that some of the financial limitations might play in there, but to just hang out and to enjoy the season and each other. And to ensure that, especially as a leader, Staff Sergeant Banks needs to kind of have his eye on his soldiers. We talked a couple months ago about the whole suicide prevention thing and how we need to watch our battle buddies, whether that be above or below us in the rank structure, but to recognize, hey, there are some things going on here, but particularly, as I mentioned earlier, that new soldier who may have just gotten out of WRC, stepped into the unit and doesn't necessarily have those social connections, that network that really is important to our well-being, to kind of invite that soldier in.
All right, so as they're sitting down and they're coming up with these thoughts about how they're going to approach the holidays, they think of getting together and Skyping the families, and just as a team, because they're a squad, they're a team, and in planning this, they figure out we're going to Skype families, and we're going to introduce ourselves to other family members and just wish these families a good holiday season. And then one of the squad members thought of, just pitching in a small amount, maybe $10 or $20, and getting the children and their families gifts for this holiday season, and that would spread cheer and make it a happy occasion, even though they're going to be away from their families. So networking, that social network, which you can not ever do too much of, connecting and bonding with each other, not just in the work environment, as the chaplain just mentioned, but outside of the work environment, is vitally important during this holiday season. And as was mentioned at the beginning of this segment, participating in sports activities, still doing what is fun for you. If you like to ski, making sure you get out and ski. If you like to mountain climb, still get out and mountain climb. Do whatever it is that you do. If you work out in the gym, make sure you continue to do that. Don't let the holiday season and the stress during this holiday season tap your resources. Get out and have fun.
Fun. We are young. You're tuned to AFN Case of the Eagle. We got one more segment. We're talking about holiday stress management, and the last break we were talking about sort of like we mentioned some sports that you can play as well to get over tension and stress for the holidays. Was there any last comments, last thoughts you wanted to put out for our listeners?
Well, sure. As we're in the holiday season, certainly you can do sports, and there is a physical way to relax yourself and to sort of enjoy getting over some of that stress. It can help, but also since we're in the season, we have that special music that plays this time of the season that oftentimes is uplifting, it's joyful, it's kind of fun sometimes. So that's something we can do. Oftentimes we look around and things are decorated, sort of that holiday cheer sort of decorations, and as I'm looking out a window I see stockings hung and a tree. Those are things we can do to sort of bring that sense of hominess, not homeliness, but hominess to our areas, whether it be our workspace, our barracks room, our quarters, whatever the case may be, to just sort of liven the place up and to enjoy the place we have. Also, really, attitude is a big perspective here. And we just finished up with Thanksgiving, but I think that Thanksgiving is something that we need to be aware of, cognizant of all year round, and to be thankful for those things that we do have. Again, like we had talked about earlier, the different things that are going on. Of course, as a chaplain, I'd be remiss to say that we have plenty of opportunities for worship and those sorts of events. The schedules are posted all around, whether you're at CRC, Camp Stanley, Camps Casey, Hovey, whatever the case may be. A lot of different things are going on with our chapel communities. I invite you to take a look at what's going on there. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, a lot of stuff going on there. So we've got options within our chapel communities too.
I just want to piggyback off of what you said, sir, about the decorating and everything. I just want to give kudos or a shout out to First Sergeant Hughes in HHC company, which is in 1ABCT. He actually created like this door decorating competition for our company, and it's really cool because whoever wins, I think you win like a pass, a day pass or something. So I think that's pretty awesome. It creates morale. It gets people in the spirit, the holiday spirit. It's a great thing to do. So kudos, shout out to you, First Sergeant Hughes. You're awesome.
So in wrapping up, as was stated, make sure you crank up the tunes during the holiday season. Research shows that listening to soothing music actually lowers blood pressure and reduces your anxiety. So crank up the music, let it go. Be grateful during this holiday season. Being thankful can go a long way. It cancels out some of the negative thoughts and the worries that we tend to bring on. So, in the end, Staff Sergeant Banks and his squad members coming up with ideas to actually enhance their attitudes, their thoughts towards being away from their family members, actually created a positive environment and made it strong. Last but not least, as we've been stating all throughout our sessions, keeping that social network going, making sure that you're connecting with those whom you have friendship with and camaraderie, making sure you build that bond and that team. That's what's going to help to get through this holiday season, and we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays during this very season. Last but not least, make sure you laugh out loud. Laughing to yourself, laughing with others, laughing just brings joy and a great environment during this holiday season.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like when you're walking down the street and you think of something funny and you're laughing to yourself, and that everybody's like looking at you like you're, you know what I mean? Yeah, it happens to me all the time. But I'm kind of a crazy guy too. So, but you said soothing music. Are there any soothing Christmas tracks that you like to hear? Something, do you have like a song request?
This Christmas.
This Christmas? All right, we can play that.
Chris Brown.
Okay, all right, okay, we can play that. Got some Elvis Presley Blue Christmas as well. Yeah, it's in there. It's good stuff. All right, got your KC. It's not an update, not like a KC commercial for you, and your weather, your currency exchange right after this.